What does it mean if I have a herniated or prolapsed disc? It means that very, very probably you are in some level of discomfort and pain. That was probably not the answer you're looking for though. What it means is that the disc, which is meant to be like this sponge-like material between each of the vertebrae and the spine, they're like the shock absorbers of the spine, is that like a balloon going out like that, they're pushing outwards, and the herniation means that the disc is pushing outwards, like when you squeeze a balloon together like that and the sides of the balloon go outwards. That's going to be part of the herniation process. And the protrusion means that there's a little gel-like substance right in the middle of the disc, and that starts to push out towards that one, protruding into the outer boundaries or borders of the disc material itself. And again, that's a more significant part of that injury. The herniation means there's the pressure. The protrusion means that the core content of the disc is starting to project outwards, and obviously that's not a good thing, and we want to look at, address that, and provide the opportunity for that body to heal. How is disc degeneration caused? Look, you probably want to have an understanding of the events that lead to that when you ask this question, and that is things such as falls, bumps, spills, accidents. You can have really, if you could have a fall from the top of a fence or something like that and land heavily, and you can compress that disc, and it can either herniate or protrude, or it could actually even squeeze into the bone itself and change the structure of bone. So it's usually associated with a trauma, an accident, a fall. I've seen in many disc conditions where there is none of those events, so it can also be a genetic weakness in the disc material itself, or if you've got a really strong pro-inflammatory condition where the fibers themselves start to deteriorate, or even in an aging process where the fibers have deteriorated, just like an old shirt and or old pair of underpants where the elastic starts to break down and we lose that flexibility or elasticity of the disc, then it can start to lead to compromise of the disc material, and obviously the compression of that disc, and it leads to herniation and prolapse amongst many other ways as well. Are there different severities or levels of disc deterioration, disc herniation? And the answer to that is absolutely. Obviously, when we know that you can have a trauma, you can have an injury, you can have a small bump, you can have a big bump, you can have a fall from a small height or a significant height, you can have a major car accident or a minor car accident. All of those levels of traumas can either create a small change in the disc material or a significant change in the disc material. You can have a major trauma that leads to dramatic herniation and prolapse, and can even lead to sequestration where the disc material actually tears itself, and we can get compression on the nerves or the spinal cord. So the level and extent of the damage, the trauma, and the breakdown in the disc material itself leads to the level of impact on the person's health and the pains that they experience. And when it comes to arthritic changes within the discs, such as a disc degenerative condition, that can be quite significant as well. You can have a small breakdown, you can have a narrowing of the disc, you can have significant breakdown of the disc, you can almost get to the point where it's bone on bone. So that level and extent of disc trauma and damage is dependent on the health and quality of the disc material itself, and the nature of the trauma, and the length of time that trauma has been there. And I know that I've run out of time, and also the age of the disc material based on that breakdown process.